Hello, friends. You're welcome back to my channel. It is so good to have you here again. Uh, let's dive right into this. So, we're still on our JavaScript lessons, and the title of this lesson is Compare Scopes of the var and let keywords. Basically, we'll be looking at the differences between the var and let keyword. As I believe you already know, let keyword was brought to replace the var keyword because of its some limitations of the var keyword. So we'll be looking at that in this lesson. All right. So if you're familiar with the let, check out this challenge and all that. So when you declare a variable with the var keyword, it is declared globally or locally if declared inside a function. The let keyword behaves similarly but with some extra features. When you declare a variable with the let keyword inside a block, statement or expression, its scope is limited to that block, statement or expression. Okay, so an example is this. You can see the var keyword here. So here the console will display the value 0, 1, 2, and 3. So this is for the num array. It's gonna display an array with three numbers 0, 1, and 2, and then this will display 3. I don't know if you notice something odd about this about this example. I is being console logged outside of the for loop, and it still gives us a result. So this is something that is unique and it's sort of a limitation in the var keywords. Let's continue. With the var keyword, I is declared globally. So when I plus plus is executed, it updates the global variable. This code is similar to the following. All right, so similar to this, basically, you can see how this var is explicitly declared outside the for loop. So and because of the way the var keyword behaves, it is similar. It is the same with this. All right. So declaring it inside of your for loop is pretty much the same as declaring it outside of it, which shouldn't be all right. But that's how it works, anyways. So here we are still going to get the same result as the previous example. This behavior will cause problems. All right. If you were to create a function and store it for later use inside a for loop that uses the I variable, this is okay. This behavior will cause problems if you were to create a function and store it for later use inside a for loop that uses the I variable. This is because the stored function will always refer to the value of the updated global I variable. Okay, so let's look at this. We still have our for loop here. If I equals to a function is being declared inside here, return I. Okay, here the console will display the value 3. All right. As you can see, print num2, print 3, and not 2. This is because the value assigned to I was not updated, and the print num2 returns the global I and not the value I had when the function was created in the for loop. So you can see that in this condition here, we're only supposed to I is supposed to be returned only if I is equal to 2. But because of the way the var keywords works, it's going to return the value of 3. Meanwhile, this condition says if I is equal to 2, we want it to run this function and then return I, which should be 2, but then it's going to return 3 because of how the var keyword works. Okay, so that's what this is all about. So the let keyword does not follow this behavior. All right, so if you use let instead of your var here, you find out that the console.log I, all right, if you console.log this print num2 function, it's going to give you a value of 2, all right, which is the right thing, which is correct. So the only difference between this example here and this one below is the let keyword. Let was used instead of var. So you can see how limited and how problematic the var keyword is, and that is why the let keyword was introduced. So just in case you might, you still use it. I don't think anyone still uses it anyways. So let is much better and helps with some of the issues that var has. So right here we're gonna have to when this one is printed out, and then I is gonna be undefined, which is the right thing, okay? Because I was actually declared inside our for loop, so we shouldn't be able to access it outside the for loop. But with the var keyword, you can access it outside the for loop, which is not good. Yeah. But with let keyword, it's more secure. All right. So let's see this. I is not defined because it was not declared in the global scope. It is only declared within the for loop statement. Print num2 returns the correct value because three different I variables with unique values were created by the let keyword within the loop statement, right? So I hope that makes sense. So let helps us to better protect our variables, and prevent stuff like being able to access a particular variable outside its supposed context. So we have an exercise here. Fix the code so that I declared in the if statement is a separate variable. Okay, is a separate variable than I declared in the first line of the function. Be certain not to use the var keyword anywhere in your code. This exercise is designed to illustrate the difference between how var and let keywords assign scope to the declared variable. When programming a function similar to the one used in this exercise, it is often better to use different variable names to avoid confusion. So simply, let's just do this. I have to fix the code so that I declared in the if statement is a separate variable than I. So simply we'll just have let here and another let here. So let's go ahead and call this function so that it gives us the right result. Block scope I is block scope console the log function scope I is function scope. So previously it was giving us, let's see, block scope I is block scope. So this was printing out block scope and this was also printing out block scope. Because it's basically the same value. It's basically the same variable that was only reassigned here on line 4. But we want it to look this way. We want them to be separate, to be seen as separate entities or separate variables. And also, like we've been advised here, it's better to use different variable names to avoid this kind of confusion. And also make sure to use let keyword instead of var to avoid all this. So let's run our test and make sure that it works, and it works. Perfect. So thank you so much for joining me. I hope you learned something. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and drop a comment. I'll see you in my next lesson. Bye.